Today I'm going to show you how I use a very simple technique to elevate some of my garden decor by using paint to fake an aged copper finish with verdigris. I have successfully used this technique on plastic, resin, concrete, and metal, and all it takes is a few inexpensive items that you can buy from your home improvement store and craft store. Verdigris is that beautiful blue-green patina that forms on copper items over time, usually due to oxidation and weathering, and it's a very desirable old world look for both interior and exterior design. And real copper items with verdigris patina can be quite expensive. So let's get started with the first item that I transformed. My first project is going to be this wall fountain that I have hanging on the wall of my front patio. We purchased this composite fountain about 6 years ago, and it's been hanging out there all this time. The finish originally was something between a concrete look. It did have some sort of a verdigris type finish, but it has faded substantially because it has been hanging out there year round. The first step to this paint technique is going to be the base coat, and for that I'm using two colors. I'm using this Rust-Oleum spray paint in burnished amber, and I'm also using this other Rust-Oleum paint in semi-gloss aged copper. It says it's high heat, but it doesn't have to be a high heat paint. I just picked this one because it happened to be the color that I liked. So I was really trying to get colors that would really imitate that aged copper look. I give the entire fountain a nice coat of the base paint, the amber color. And then, and this is very important, while this paint is still wet, you want to come in with your second color. And that's because you want the two colors to blend together. So I find that if you apply the second color while the first color is still wet, it will give you the most natural aged copper look. You can see now that I'm adding the aged copper color on top of the burnished amber, it's really giving the fountain a lot more depth and variation in color, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And that's going to make the perfect base coat for me to then apply the acrylic paint to give it that verdigris look. And I kept going back and forth between the burnished amber and the aged copper until I had the finish that I was happy with. I let the fountain dry for 2 hours, and then I came in with my acrylic paint. And this was just a cheap acrylic paint I bought in light turquoise. I also have two paintbrushes of different sizes, and you need a damp cloth. I googled some images of copper items that had verdigris patina on them, just so I could get an idea of where verdigris naturally tends to occur on a copper piece. And I found that it tends to start in crevices and in areas that tend to be a little bit more recessed. So that's what I attempted to do. I just started applying it to those areas. My husband did ask me to give it a more subtle verdigris finish. You could really go all out and make it very, very patinaed, but here I was really going for a subtle effect, which is where that damp cloth comes in, because when I was done applying the acrylic paint to a section of the fountain, I would use that damp cloth to wipe back some of that paint to reveal the finish underneath. This fountain does have a pump. It's hanging on the wall of our garage. So what my husband did is he made a small hole on the siding, large enough to insert the plug and the cord through. So when we want the fountain to be pumping, it will be plugged into an outlet in the garage. So this is what the fountain looks like after I applied the Verdigris finish. Again, I did keep it subtle. You could definitely do a lot more Verdigris, make it a lot more green. But I felt that this was just the right amount for the fountain to stand out and to give it that realistic Verdigris patina look. Now at this stage, if you find that you have applied too much of the acrylic paint on some spots, for example here on the side, that's an easy fix. Just go back in with your original spray paint colors. So I wanted to blend that out a little bit more. I felt like I had put too much of the acrylic paint there. So I grabbed my spray paint and I went in first with the aged copper, and then I went in with the burnished amber, and I just sprayed a couple of little spritzes, just enough to blend all of that in and make it more subtle. I let the fountain dry for several hours, and the last step is to apply a sealer. Now this is an important step because it will kind of help blend everything in and also will protect the finish. For me, this is especially important because this fountain is outside and the elements year-round. So I went in with this Rust-Oleum clear sealer. I did apply 2 coats of it, allowing it to dry between coats, and this is really going to ensure that the fountain looks good for several seasons. And here is the fountain all finished. I did wait 1 day for the sealer to cure before I put water in it, but I think it makes so much more of an impact against our beige siding now that it has this aged copper with verdigris patina. And I think the fountain adds a lot of charm to our little outdoor patio. My next project was to transform these 2 chickens. This first one is a cast metal chicken that I've had for years and years. It's been outside. The finish is starting to show some wear. And the second one is a rooster that I bought on clearance from Hobby Lobby just a few weeks ago. For this project, I decided to switch things up a bit. So I started out with the lighter color of spray paint, so I used the aged copper first. I find that it doesn't really make a difference which color you start with, as long as, again, you don't allow the paint to dry between the colors. So go in with one color and immediately go in with the other color while the first color is still wet. Now for this project, instead of using the burnished amber spray paint that I used on the fountain, I had some oil rubbed bronze that was just a little bit in the can, and I really wanted to finish that up. So I decided to try to use that instead, which was actually not the best idea because there was just too much contrast between the 2 colors. So I just went back and forth with the aged copper spray paint to really try to fade in and make those darker areas more subtle. After everything dried for several hours, I went in with the acrylic paint and started to add the verdigris finish. I did get a little carried away with the acrylic paint. It's kind of hard to know when to stop, and when I was done, there was a lot of acrylic paint on both the rooster and the chicken. I felt it was too much. There were so many little crevices and nooks and crannies on these that I just kind of went a little wild. But again, that was an easy fix because, like I explained with the fountain project, if you find that you overdid it in an area and you want a more subtle look, you just go back in with your original base colors and you can really make the patina much more subtle. Which is what I did here. I felt that after going in with the oil rub bronze and with the aged copper, the rooster and the chicken had a much more realistic finish than they did before. And then it was time to seal everything. I was just using what I had on hand. It's the same sealer that I used for the fountain, and even though it says it's clear, it does seem to have a little bit of a gloss. If I had to do it over again, I would probably buy a matte sealer just so it wouldn't have that glossy finish. I think it would look much more natural. Let's see how they look in my flower bed. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you'll consider subscribing so you can be notified of future videos that I post.